Cody Gakpo is going to Liverpool, and that is the first major transfer news of the January transfer window that is upcoming. And boy oh boy, are we in for an interesting time if Gakpo comes to Liverpool. But what's going on, guys? It is Ketch back with another video on the channel. Sorry that I've not posted recently. That was due to a break after the World Cup and also the Christmas festivities. I hope everyone here had a merry Christmas and enjoyed all their presents and spending time with family and friends. Also, guys, please do like, share and subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you never miss an upload. And let's get right into the video. Yes, you read that right. The Netherlands international Cody Gakpo is making his way to Liverpool after Liverpool and PSV agreed a £37 million transfer fee, which could rise to around 50 million once certain add-ons and performance-based incentives are met. But yeah, Cody Gakpo is coming to Liverpool, and it's an interesting signing for the Reds, as it'll definitely improve their left side with Luis Diaz now out with another injury. But yes, it was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano earlier this morning, with him saying Liverpool has signed Gakpo from PSV. The deal has been signed between the clubs. Gakpo will sign a long-term deal later this week. And he's also agreed a 6-year deal with Liverpool, which is the same as Darwin Núñez did last summer. All clauses have already been approved with a guaranteed fee, as I mentioned, of 37 million. And I think Gakpo will do really well in the Premier League for Liverpool. Probably for Liverpool fans, he'll probably have a similar sort of impact that Luis Diaz had when he made his transfer in the same time last year, but only time will tell. Keeping with Liverpool, and there was finally a return to Premier League action as they took on Aston Villa at Villa Park, and it was in the end a comfortable 3-1 victory for the Reds, with goals from Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk easing them into a 2-0 lead against a pretty poor Villa in the first half. Ollie Watkins did get a goal back for Villa to start a comeback, but unfortunately for Villa it was nothing more than a consolation goal for him in the end, as it turned out, because Liverpool's teenage sensation Stefan Bajcetic scored to make it 3-1 to Liverpool in the 83rd minute by taking a Darwin Núñez shot from the edge of the sort of byline, parried off the goalkeeper. He took it around the keeper by Sedic and then stuck it between Tyrone Mings' legs and into the back of the net to give Liverpool a 3-1 victory. And after the start Liverpool have had to the season, they will like the current form trend they've been on recently. And now their eyes will turn to their next game, which I believe is against Leicester. And speaking of Leicester, they were humbled at home 3-0 by a fit and firing Newcastle squad. Miguel Almiron was the star of the show once again. He grabbed the second goal after Chris Wood had scored an earlier penalty, and then Joel Linton had made it 3-0 to Newcastle. And it's given the Magpies something to really think about. They're now second, albeit temporarily, with a game extra on Man City, who are currently second. But Newcastle will probably be ruining earlier chances in the season where they could have easily taken wins instead of draws. There was that famous last minute loss to Liverpool at Anfield from Fabio Carvalho's strike. But ever since then, Newcastle have been going up and up, and if they keep at this current rate, they'll definitely finish in the top 4. They're currently second. I did mention that earlier, even though it's only temporary at this point in time. But with the squad they got being led by Miguel Almiron at the minute, seems to be doing really well. And Eddie Howe seems to be getting the best out of the Newcastle players, which I didn't necessarily think, but they've also didn't necessarily think when he joined, but they've got that Saudi Arabian investment as well, so everything is going very well for Newcastle, and it'll be interesting to see where they are come season end. Moving over to Selhurst Park, and it was a day to forget for Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace, as they also succumbed to a 3-0 loss at the hands of Marco Silva's Fulham. And it was an Alexander Mitrovic show, as he got the assist for the first goal before eventually getting the third goal, which was a lovely way to cap off the evening for Fulham. They'd already scored a second goal through Tim Ream to make it 2-0. But yeah, Fulham were actually helped by a lack of defensive display and lack of, say, conduct from Crystal Palace, as Crystal Palace actually, funnily enough, went down to 9 players on their team. They had 2 people sent off. James Tompkins here was shown a second yellow card, whereas they also had a straight red card earlier in the game for, I believe it was what was his name, Tyrick Mitchell, who was sent off, a straight red card in the 34th minute, and then James Tompkins went off in the 57th minute. And then after that, Fulham found it a lot easier with a 2-man advantage. They got the second, and then Mitrovic with his third goal later on. And Fulham have been doing well under Marco Silva. They're now up to 8th with a couple of games played extra than the teams ahead of them. But they're doing very, very well, and I think they'll probably look to see if they can finish in the top 10. It's definitely on the cards considering how they played, and hopefully they do a lot better than early season predictions, which had them in the relegation zone. Finally, we stop at the league leaders Arsenal, who dispatched West Ham 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium this morning. Even though they did go behind to a side Benrahma penalty, they did recover and recuperate and get themselves back to winning ways, or actually to continue their winning ways, thanks to Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and then of course Eddie Nketiah, who finished off West Ham to make it 3-1 to them and continue their streak at the top of the table. They've now heaped all the pressure back on Man City, who are in action tonight if you're in Australia against Leeds. So it'll probably go back to 5 points, you would think, but if Leeds manage to get an upset over Man City, then it could be 8 points as it is at the moment. So Arsenal will be looking at that game with a lot of interest, and so will Eddie Nketiah and the rest of the Arsenal boys. They've done their bit. Now they just need to keep Man City at bay, and by the time the season ends in May, the league title will be theirs if their form continues. But that has been the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on another video very soon. Have a good one, guys. See ya.